And finally, the Hedgehog World Championships. Spike has been training hard for months now to win the coveted award for Britain, and only has to find one more snail to become the outright winner. A keen nose and fairly good eyesight for a hedgehog of his calibre. He's onto something. Training for hours each day and leaving international hedgehogs, lesser hedgehogs, in his wake. Spike already has 2 gold medals and could well be on to a 3rd. He just has to find this final snail, carefully hidden by the judges, of course, but he seems a little confused, perhaps overcome by the damp leaves, but this hedgehog never gives up and is clearly just a little bit nearer to finding it. But what's this? He's in the open now. Have the judges placed this snail just beyond his reach, perhaps trying to confuse him? He seems to be heading towards the fence, with many obstacles in his way, but he's focused and seems to have the scent now. Oh dear, he's coming back, sniffing as he goes, determined to home in on that elusive snail. It doesn't look good for Spike. He seems to have lost the trail entirely. Spike, have you got a comment?
Well, yes. What do you think I am? Bugger this, I'm going in. I've got to watch Ralph's house.
Go, Spike, go. Welcome back to Ralph's house. As you know, yesterday I sort of made a start on this wardrobe, the elusive puzzle. The only thing I can kind of assume, because I've only got these pictures, such as they are, for reference, and they're not really a lot of help, but I'm going to assume that they're feet. So therefore, that needs to be at the bottom. That should be the top. I don't even know if that bit of wood goes in there. I think probably not. But we'll see. I'm going to change these around a bit and see if I can kind of figure out at least the outer carcass and then start infilling and hopefully putting everything together. Yeah, so that's what we're doing today. Well, I think I finally figured this out. And why I was getting so confused by it all. It is not one whole unit, it's 2 that are screwed together. So one is a long narrow one that's got a single door on it. The other one has got shorter double doors, that's the bottom, remember. No, actually the other way around. Shorter double doors, and then at the bottom there's 3 drawers. Making progress now, I think. So I think if I'd work on the single one, which I'll lay there, whatever's left will be what's left for the double one. Ha! Yep, that's exactly what we've got. A single and a double. I'll tell you what threw me was why I assumed these were feet, why there were so many feet. And this I assume, and why it's different colour from the others, I don't exactly know. Maybe that'll make sense at the end, or it all ties them all together at the bottom, possibly. But anyway, they're definitely one tall single one, which I presume there'll be posts somewhere along here, I'm guessing, for the clothes rail to go between them. I wouldn't bet any money on that. So if I start screwing those together, tightening those up, that'll start getting this thing rigid. Get the backing on it, and then see what fits in between, because I imagine there's one, I don't know, it's one long door, but maybe it's got a shelf in it at the top. That could be, or a shelf at the bottom. Yeah, the back's going on now, and I discovered I had a couple of bracing pieces downstairs that I hadn't spotted. I couldn't work out what the hell went there because there were fixings. So that means the carcass is, yeah, more or less together. I think at some point it's been screwed to a wall, but we'll see if it needs that. But I should be able to, yeah, I should be able to upend this now. I'll just finish off putting the rest of the nails down here though. Yeah, well, that's a single one. I've got some other things to do here today that nothing to do with this. I should be doing a bit more of this in the morning. But yeah, we can start to get the bedroom furniture together then, and then decide whether or not I just need to screw this to the wall or not. But they come up pretty high, pretty good. And by the look of it, I've got these spots in the right position. Something my sister actually mentioned. Oh, I've actually got the power turned off on the lights, I forgot that. Yeah, I think that'll work all right. Yes, well, that's one in. I've got to even up the feet to get the whole thing square. Put the shelves in, put a closed rail in. Then I've got a double unit to go next to that. And yeah, I probably will fix it in place. And maybe I'll screw it to the skirting. Perhaps put a block of wood in along that top wall. Once I work out the depth of that, so I can actually fasten it. And it'll always be square then. Won't have any creaky doors or leaning cupboards, anything like that. Anyway, that's all I'm doing on that today, because I've got some stuff that I've brought over that I need to unpack that's downstairs. I need to get that done today. Also this afternoon I'll clean the filter out on the fish pond at the back, because of course it's got algae and stuff over the winter and early spring. So I've cleared out all the algae, cleared out all the filters, and then at some point this week I shall go and get some fish. Maybe just 2, maybe 1, don't know. But my buddy in that fish pond is sat there all on his own, and I think if he had another fish in there, it might just liven him up a bit. You know what I mean? Oh, I know. This is what this block's for, isn't it? So I assume rest it on the back and it clips in. Yep. So that's top and bottom. Hey, we're making progress. Yep, I shall come back to this probably in the morning, put these stretcher pieces on the bottom and start to slot all that in. So I know that then must be the baseboard, it drops in at the end. Those two, one will be a shelf, one will be for the top of the drawers, because there's 3 drawers sit at the bottom, and then like I say 2 double drawers at the top. But I still don't know what that's for. I have no idea. And as it goes, maybe I won't actually need it. Use it for something else. It's quite a big board, isn't it? Yeah, that's good. Right, on to the next job. This cupboard on the stairs, really, to be honest, is all stuffed with decorating stuff. And until I get this stair lift off, can't really decorate down the stairs, can't really even paint the wood. But I need to be processing that job soon. As far as the walls are concerned, I'm going to have a look at this, because this paint is stuck pretty hard. If it won't lift, I will smooth it flat with filler, you know, tape out the edges, and I shall go with the whole lot with lining paper, and that should sort that. I have already had a go at filling odds and ends up there. If I can get the lining paper in, which won't disturb too much up here, then I can go down and get all that painted. Very important to use lining paper, because I'm going to be using a very bold colour here, at least up to, let's say, up to that wall. I don't think I'll necessarily go all the way around here. I think I might keep it white here, but it's going to be like a deep wine colour down here. As I mentioned earlier, I've got some special posters I want to put on, and a bit of an Americana feature. Make more sense when you see it. So, right, better get all this stuff downstairs. I've finished moving all that stuff downstairs, and I've come back to this. There was still a bit of puzzling out to do. Doors are easy enough, you know what happens with those. Shelves, these are fairly straightforward. They've got these little things, and you've got lugs that sit on the inside of the cabinet, so the shelf drops on. Usual stuff, sort of thing you see in kitchen cupboards. But I had this one board, which is leaning against the side, left over, which I couldn't fathom. And I reckon it's a facing board, look, because it's had a little cutout there. That was obviously for a house with lower skirting. So I've only got to get the profile of that, and then that will butt up to the skirting and hide the gap. I would bet any money that's what it is, because then it'll sit back flush, or should do. So I presume then, and that's why I've got this triangular piece, the idea being that the outside of this cupboard is a darker wood and the carcass is a slightly lighter wood. Does that make sense? Yeah. The only shame is that I haven't got a bit more of this to infill down this side, but actually, thinking about it, my late father has got lengths of wood like that in his garage and in his shed, and I'll bet I can match that, and then just, yeah, I should just screw a strip to the outside of this cupboard that just fits that gap. That'll make that really tidy then, yeah. So yeah, I'll come back to this tomorrow. Thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment if you will. I know there are MFI experts out, well, I'll say MFI, it's not a Schreiber. It's got these very, socks you see, look. I've got these very soft close drawer runners. Oh, they're smooth as silk. Look at that. Pull them out, if I can get it to do it. Look at that, perfect. Yeah, soft close drawers. So I'll definitely get those put in tomorrow. And this is all good. Yeah, so see you in the morning. Thanks for watching Ralph's House. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. It can be very interesting, can be funny, can be a disaster. I've done plenty of those. Oh yeah, just before I go, I didn't mention this. I don't remember if you remember a while back when I was running cables in here, and then it went into there, then it went under the floor, and it went into the next room, right? Well, I've still got that socket to do. It's not an urgent job, but I will put some sort of socketed on it for safety's sake. But I have got to come here and do it, which means I need to mask off the skirting board so it doesn't get all covered in brick dust and stuff. Put dust sheets and newspaper, make sure it's all covered this area, and then sort of chip out that socket when I, as soon as I get time to do that. But it's not, I didn't want it holding up the carpet, and that's the thing. But while I was doing it, this was when I had the floorboards up, I'd got power there, but I had no power there. And I spent an age with this cable, thinking I'd perhaps got a break in it somewhere. And it turned out, and this is things you've got to watch, the live connection on this socket, or at least on the exit, as it goes to the next socket, had popped out. So, there it is. But unfortunately, it meant, because I swapped out a length of cable, and I had to put one junction box in, so I had to make a really good job of that and make sure that it was absolutely tight, and I'd never need to go back to it again, because junction boxes on the floor aren't great. But that's the only one I've got, so that's not too bad, considering I wired the whole floor, and all cable runs are complete. Wherever they come out, it's a complete cable. So you haven't got a lift carpet, apart from on the landing, like I say, where I've made a sort of service hatch and everything terminates. Anyway, that was it. I just thought I'd throw that in at the end. See you tomorrow. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.